Good afternoon, this is Baldy Saddle on Mt Wrightson, and we're looking out over the Arizona desert to the northeast. And I'm going to break here to talk some anime.
Babel II.
Babel II is Mitsuru Yokoyama's classic superhero manga from the 1970s. It's been made into an anime 3 times. In 1973 as a TV series, in 1992 as a 4-part OVA series, and finally in 2001 as a short-lived TV series again. I'm going to blather on about the latter 2 anime versions since I've never seen the 73 TV edition. The basic story is the same in all 3 versions, taken from the original manga. In ancient times, an alien spacecraft crash-landed on Earth. The injured alien pilot convinced the local rulers to build a tower for him so he could call home. It seems the legendary Tower of Babel was actually this alien construction project. Alas, as you may have heard, that mammoth construction project failed. Resigned to spending the rest of his life here on Earth, the benevolent alien guided human development. He even provided for a successor to awaken when needed, and used this technology to help the human race. In the present day, the tower calls for that successor, Babel II. That turns out to be a Japanese high school boy named Koichi who's already begun to manifest some psychic powers. But there's also an evil psychic, a fellow named Yomi, running about. Years ago, Yomi found the tower and was a candidate to become Babel II himself until the tower got to know his bad side and spit him back out. But not before Yomi learned a few of its alien secrets. Ever since then, Yomi's been scheming to find the tower again and obtain the rest of its alien power. He's collected a gang of psychic lackeys to help him, a gang he calls Hades. In his spare time, he plots to conquer the world, using those psychic powers and the alien tech he picked up from his first visit to the tower. In fact, Koichi needs to become Babel II mostly to deal with the threat of Yomi. To Yomi, the young Koichi is a rival, but also a way to find the hidden tower again. Luckily, Koichi, the genuine chosen Babel II, has some alien-spawned helpers of his own. Rotom is a shape-shifting black panther who talks. Roperos is a flying dragon or bird who breathes some sort of sonic attack. And Poseidon is a giant rust-proof robot who rises from the sea. Plus, Koichi gets to sleep in this alien hot tub in the tower that heals injuries and recharges his superpowers. In the 1992 Babel II OVA set, the anime starts with Koichi's awakening psychic powers as he gets competing calls from the tower and a cute girl named Juju. The cute girl trumps the desert ruin every time, except she's part of Hades, working for the bad guys. On the plus side, she thinks Koichi is cute. This OVA is all about Babel II versus Yomi. Yomi has a couple of henchmen, including Juju. Juju tries to get Koichi before he awakens and to recruit him for her master, Yomi. Koichi gets some help from a pair of UN cops, Yamazaki and Yuko. Yomi only has a few resources beyond his psychic powers and the alien technology. For the most part, this comes down to one of those psychic versus psychic fights. Somehow, Koichi keeps his school uniform immaculately pressed through it all.
Master, this is Koichi. I brought him here to see you.
It's natural to try and resist at first, but believe me, you'll soon realize it's your destiny to become part of our little family.
The OVA story was complete in 4 parts. It keeps mostly to the basics of the Babel II story and doesn't wander too far afield. It doesn't give particularly well-rounded characters, but at least Koichi considers joining Yomi's gang, and Juju is at least thoughtful enough to question Yomi's tactics. The animation is adequate for the early '92 OVA market, but that's about it. The art designs for Babel II and his helpers and Yomi are taken from the original manga. I give the 1992 Babel II OVA series 2.5 stars. There's nothing really interesting going on here, and the characters aren't all that well developed. The US release is from Streamline Pictures with a script by Carl Masick and only has an English dub without a Japanese soundtrack on the DVD. I still have the first 2 of these OVAs on their original Japanese Laserdisc release, but there was a reason I didn't bother picking up the second set. In the 2001 Babel II TV series, Beyond Infinity, the anime again starts with Koichi's awakening to the call of the Tower of Babel. The show ran for 13 episodes this time. This incarnation, Yomi has much greater resources based on both his psychic powers and the alien technology he got from the tower. He's got some big robots of his own and lots of faceless minions, a classic evil organization. While it's still all about Babel II versus Yomi, here Yomi doesn't show up in person until later in the story. Instead, he sends his top henchmen, Leon and Ferris, to fight Babel II for him. Or he sends one of his giant robots or one of his other toys. And that's one of the problems with this TV series. It's full of new enemies and old comic book fashions. Every episode, Yomi has a different weird menace to spring on Babel II. There's no coherence to the evil. Giant robots, vampires, zombies, androids, plague, missiles, super bombs, stone golems, doomsday machines, whole armies. It's a compendium of pulp sci-fi. There's also a lot of psychic combat in this one, with people grimacing and shooting off sparks. Episode after episode, combatants call their shots old school style, as if the power wouldn't work unless someone screamed first, "Psychic shockwave blast" first. Then they hurl energy bolts at each other until somebody fries. The first half of the series involves Yomi's attempt to take over Babel's tower. The second half involves the search for a race to find something called Valduk, an old Hades device that can destroy all life on Earth. In this telling, Babel II has his 3 alien-spawned allies, Rotom, Roparos, and Poseidon, plus the help of Reika Psyche, a secret agent for the UN, which outfits her with lots of neat spy toys. The TV series has flat wooden characters. There isn't even a hint of introspection in any of them. The bad guys are just bad, and that's about the limit of their personality development. Koichi is good, immune to temptation or much thought. Although he continues to wear his school uniform and just left his family and friends behind to become Babel II, he never really thinks about them or anyone else specifically. He has all the personality of a saltine cracker. Reika is the dutiful sidekick, apparently without much of a past herself. The dialogue doesn't fare much better. If you want to play a drinking game with this anime, try chugging every time a character triumphantly shouts, "Ha! You've fallen into my trap." The 2001 TV series is animated both cheaply and sloppily. It's full of still-frame pans and rigidly fixed perspectives. The artwork doesn't have much imagination either. The major character designs are out of the manga, of course, and I suppose there's only so much you can do with visualizing psychic combat. I give the 2001 Babel II TV series, Beyond Infinity, just 2 stars. This is a 1970 comic book made into a 1970s anime. What was original in 1973 is boring in 2001. They could have modernized it by developing these classic characters with more modern sensibilities, or they could have had some fun by embracing the genre in an over-the-top style, or they might have found some innovative twist. Instead, they've warmed over a classic and served it up like last week's ramen. At least AnimeWorks' US DVD release keeps the Japanese soundtrack as well as providing an English dub. Babel II was created as a manga series by the prolific Mitsuru Yokoyama, who also created such classics as Tetsujin 28 and Giant Robot. Neither of these anime versions of Babel II do much to enhance or update his work. The 1993 Giant Robo OVA was pretty much a mashup of many of Yokoyama's works, including a guest appearance by Babel II, Rotom, Roparos, and Poseidon.
Thanks for watching.